I got into magic at the age of 10 years old. I saw magic. Wonder was blessed upon me, and I was so into it, I begged my parents to teach me it. And they're not magicians, so they had zero clue of how to go about this process for a young 10-year-old into magic. So looking back on it, they made a great decision. They took me to the library, the Carnegie Library right up the road. That's where I checked out some of my very first books on magic. The irony is that I never returned the damn things, and they're now part of my library at home. But those books were, to say the least, very important in my upbringing in this art. I started magic at the age of 10, like I said. The cool thing is those books, they allowed me to never in my world have another job. I've been a magician every day since I was 10 years old, spreading wonder every minute I can. And so I want to try that right now. I've got to do at least one card trick. So let me just warm these up real quick, right like that. See, you're looking at me right now, and you're going, I don't know whether to applaud or just feel sorry for him. I don't. Brand new deck of cards. I'm going to have someone help me out with this. Let me just warm these up, and let me see here. Would you help me out with this? You can stay right there. What is your first name? Susan. Susan, pack of cards. What I'd like you to do, Susan, any card you like, you can take. You can just take one, any one you like. Oh, 2 of spades, good. I have a marker. Can you sign on the face, Susan, your name? And I'll show it to everybody so everybody has a chance to see the sign, 2 of spades, the Susan card, right? The Susan card. All right. So, Susan, I will take your sign, 2 of spades, so everybody has a chance to see. Or 2. Now, this is going to sound a little weird, Susan, but I'm going to take your 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, I'm going to put a bend in that card, right? I'm just going to bend it in half, and then, Susan, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to give it one more bend, just like so. And then, Susan, would you do me a favor? Can you stand up right where you are? I'm going to give you the card, and right on the short end, right there, that short end, can you bite down on the short end? Can you just bite down and hold it right between your teeth? Yes, keep it right there. That's perfect. Here's what I'm going to do, Susan. I'm going to take a random card. I will take the 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts. And, Susan, what I'm going to do on the 10 of hearts is I'm going to sign my name, all right? So I'm going to sign the 10 of hearts. I have the sign 10 of hearts. You have the sign 2 of spades, the Susan card. Now, Susan, here's what we're going to do in a second. I'm going to take the 10 of hearts. I'm going to fold it up the same way, and I'm going to put it in my teeth. And what we're going to do, Susan, is this morning, is we're going to play a little game, and the name of that game is called Just the Tip. Just for a second. Just see how it feels. Now here we go. I'm gonna take the 10. My sign 10. All I do, I take that. I'm gonna fold that up. Oh, that shit just happened. But if this works, hold on to this for me. In this, we played Just the Tip. We should have an amazing ending to a creative morning where we talked about wonder because, Susan, I now have your 2 of spades. Which means, if this works, if we successfully play Just the Tip, what do you have? Open that up. Show everybody what is now in your mouth. My sign, 10 of hearts. And then you can keep both of those. Those are for you. Those are for you. Thank you, man. Well, I could say the least, I was a little confused. I didn't know where this was going to take me. All I know is that this is what I really, really wanted to do with my career and my life. I had the opportunity to become friends and create a mentor with a magician by the name of Paul Gertner. He would be very pivotal in my career, mainly because when I got to the age of 18, right in that realm, that 17 and 18-year-old young magician, I thought I knew it all. I thought I was just going to head out into the real world and perform around the world and be a magician, and that was how it was going to work. But Paul, being a guy that had done this for his entire life, had created wonder every day, he'd stop me and he said, Lee, you don't know what you're about to do. You see, you're in a business called show business. You'll always be the magician, you'll always have a show, but you have to understand that it is a business. And so Paul gave me the insight to get a degree in marketing and business from Robert Morris University. And I did that, and that's what I did. And that took me in that direction to have longevity, and that's what he was doing. He was looking out for my longevity. Now, when I got out of college and I had this background of information of how the business world works, I knew how the magic world works. Now it was time for me to go out and spread it as much as I could and see if I could get something back in return. And I did. I made incredible friendships along the way. I became and got to know people that I never thought I would ever have a chance to get to know. A gentleman by the name of Ron Morris. Maybe no one in this room knows who that gentleman is, but you see, he became my business mentor. And the day I met Ron, I was doing magic at a restaurant at the waterfront. You see, that was my hustle. That was the way I was putting myself through college. I was doing magic shows and doing restaurants. But one evening when I was doing magic at that restaurant, you see, Ron, on the first day I met him, I was performing for his family. And after we were done, he took me aside, and he was interested in my business. He was curious because he was an entrepreneur, and he wanted to know, what was I doing? How was I crafting this magic, and how was it working out for me? And being the guy that Ron slipped a $100 bill in my pocket, and he wanted to hear these answers. And I was telling him, I said, yeah, I'm a magician. I do magic at restaurants, and I'm paying my way through college with it. And he was intrigued by that because he said to me, he goes, Lee, today I received unbearable news. He goes, today I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And I was thinking to myself, wow, that's incredibly, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was going on with you. And he said, no, you understand. He goes, because the 10 minutes that you were doing magic at our table, I forgot about it. And that hit me at that moment. I was like, wow, magic really does have a power. Wonder has a power to pull people out of their daily lives and really let them forget about their problems. Well, me and Ron became best friends. He became my mentor in business and was with me for the next 10 years of my life until the day he passed away. Now, I've had this opportunity to create and share magic for the better part of, 27 years today. Because when I was 10 years old on my birthday, that was when I got a magic kit and a magic book, and along the way I went. Well, today's my birthday, and it's been 27 years I've been doing this. Thank you. But it was these opportunities throughout my career that really helped me on my path. And in 2010, when I was with Paul Gertner, he invited me to New York City to help produce his magic show. I was helping him create his magic so he could share wonder with a big audience that weekend. Now on Sunday, as we were packing up the bags and we were going to head back to Pittsburgh, Paul said to me, he says, Lee, he goes, before we go back to the Berg, do you want to see if we can go and find Harry Houdini? Now, at that moment, when Paul asked me that, I'll be fair with you, I was under the impression that Houdini's final resting place was in Appleton, Wisconsin, of all places. You see, when Harry was an immigrant to our fine country in 1878, him and his brothers and sisters and two parents ended up immigrating from Budapest, Hungary, and settled, of all places, Appleton, Wisconsin. It was there that Harry would eventually discover magic and take him around the world to become the most famous magician of all time, always spreading wonder. Now, in 2010, when Paul asked me if I wanted to go find Harry Houdini that day, of course, I was energized and ready to find out what he was talking about. Well, we drove up to Queens and into a little Jewish cemetery, and that's where we found Harry Houdini. That's where he's buried. Now, when I was finding out that Harry was buried in New York City, you see, me and Paul, we spent the afternoon talking about about magic and Harry and magicians from the past, magicians from the present, and even where we thought magic was headed to into the future. Now, we got back in the car and made our way back to Pittsburgh. But you see, it was when we got to Pittsburgh that Paul bestowed on me another piece of wonder that would change my life. See, Paul gave me a book known as the Taschen Magic Book. Just like I got those books when I started in magic at that Carnegie Library, again, I was receiving another piece of information, a book that was filled with history. But not only that, it was filled with photographs of magicians from the past. And the photograph that I ended up finding in that book in 2010 was this one right here that I'll show you on screen. What you're looking at right now is, in fact, a black and white photo of Harry Houdini. I'm going to point him out to you because I know he's a little hard to see on the screen, but if you take a look right up here between these two windows, you will see a person hanging upside down. You see, that is, in fact, Harry Houdini. And he's performing, for all those thousands of people, he's performing the very dangerous, upside-down straitjacket escape. Now, as I was staring at this image of Harry Houdini doing this incredible stunt in 2010, you see certain things started to jump out of me in this photo. Now, I know it's a little hard to see, but you can look this up later. But right here on this building, right here that Harry's hanging from, it says the Pittsburgh Post. Yeah. Harry did this in Pittsburgh. Now, I know that because right here in the corner, you see, it's hard to see, but if you want to look, you can check it out later. You can see that it's dated November 6th, 1916. Was I really staring at a photo of Harry Houdini doing the upside-down straitjacket escape in my hometown? I had to know more. I had a thirst for this knowledge. I had to know everything about this day, this performance. So I did what any Pittsburgher would do. I called Rick Seebeck. I said, Rick, right now, man, I'm looking at this black and white photo of what I believe is Harry Houdini doing the upside-down straitjacket escape in downtown Pittsburgh. And I kid you not even missing a beat, Rick said in return, he said, yes, and it was 37 degrees that day. He's a scary man. Now, once Rick confirmed that this, in fact, did take place in 1916, you see, I had a lot more questions. Where? What time of the day was it? Is the building even still there? Well, it turns out Harry performed this stunt at noon at the corner of Wood Street and Liberty Avenue. Is the building still there, I said? It actually is. It became a CVS. Now, in 2010, when I was finding out all these little details, these nuances, this information about Harry Houdini and his performance from 1916 and how he spread wonder that day to all these thousands of Pittsburghers, I was mesmerized by this idea. I thought to myself, how cool would it be if 100 years to the day, I could recreate that exact feeling in downtown Pittsburgh? I could give Pittsburghers of today that same energy, that same feeling that the Pittsburghers in this image got to witness that afternoon as they stared up and watched Harry Houdini. I wanted to create wonder for Pittsburgh, but I wanted to do it on the grandest of scales. So over the next 5 years of my life, I dedicated to that idea and that day. I called it Houdini 100, a tribute to Harry Houdini's famous, upside-down, death-defying straitjacket escape. Now, if you happen to miss my performance on November 6, 2016, at the corner of Wood Street and Liberty Avenue, while dangling 100 feet, about this high, above the city of Pittsburgh, well, then check this out.
All right, Lee, it's getting down to the moment. I mean, I'm scared. I think everybody's got a little bit of fear, and I hope you're okay. Just be careful up there. You're the best.
Thank you very much. I am really glad that that went the way it was supposed to. That afternoon, I had legendary Pittsburgher Tom Savini, as well as Steeler greats Rocky Bleier and Franco Harris, bind me into the straitjacket that afternoon before I was hoisted 100 feet upside down. To be fair with you all, you see, I invited Franco for the off chance if I actually would have fell. He'd have had me. He'd have had me. There was one aspect, one detail, one minor little thing about Houdini 100 that, given the opportunity, you see, I didn't want to miss out on. And that was the photo that inspired it from the very beginning. So I made sure on my way up to 100 feet that afternoon that they stopped me at the exact location of Harry. So I get my own. There's mine. Yeah. This picture was taken 100 years to the moment, doing the exact same piece of magic in downtown Pittsburgh, spreading wonder. I had no clue where this would take me. All I knew is it was something in my mind, in my life, and in my career, a goal that I wanted to achieve. And working all those years to bring it to life, I assumed that when it was done and my feet were back on stage and my family could breathe a sigh of relief, you see, I assumed that my roller coaster ride with Harry Houdini had come to a close. But little did I know is that it would keep going. You see, a few months after Houdini 100, I received a telephone call from a company looking to turn my idea into a TV series. That company was the Discovery Channel, and that series became Houdini's Last Secrets that I just filmed last fall with the Discovery Channel. I traveled around the world last fall with a gentleman by the name of George Hardeen. That's George right there. You see, George's claim to fame is that, well, he's the great-grandnephew of Harry Houdini. Me and George teamed up, traveled around the world filming a docu-series for the Discovery Channel. We were in search of not only secrets about the family and Harry's magic, but about, his personal life as well. And on the show, I performed the very dangerous Chinese water torture cell escape. I did the Correct escape, as well as the bullet catch and buried alive. If that doesn't get you into wanting to watch a TV series, I don't know what the hell will, people. If you want to find the episodes of Houdini's Last Secrets, you can find them on Discovery Channel's platform, and they're on demand, as well as Apple, iTunes, and Amazon Prime. So thank you so much for inviting me here at this Creative Mornings to help show you all how I love to spread wonder. Thank you very much.